We're going to take a look at customizing Napkin to use your own colour and style. So before we create a new image here, we're going to click into the option for styles, and we're going to choose to click Create My Style. And here you can see you can give it a name. And you have the option here to use this Want a Quick Colour Palette. Click to browse or drag your image or logo here. So if you already have a logo that you've designed or a picture that you want to use as your inspiration, you can drag that there and it will automatically detect from there. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can choose the colours that you want to use. And again, you can choose to input the colour codes, and most people use this hex code terminology. So if you've got your own branding imagery, you should have a logo or a brand guide that tells you what the colours are, what the numbers are for the colours. So let's put in one of the ones that I use. And I've got 4 or 5 different colours that I do use. So let's pick another one here. Add that one. I'm going to input another colour here. And another. And then there's one last colour that I'm going to add in. And there we go. I've picked the colours that I like. You can also choose if you've got a preferred background colour. I quite like the idea of having it white, nice and clean. So let's leave that there selected. And next you get to pick the fonts that you like. So if you click on the drop down here for title, it will give you some options. There's a limited number here. So let's pick one that we think looks nice. I think maybe that one there. And then you can choose a different font again if you want to for the label and the description. So I've picked a slightly different font for the title there and some fonts there for the text. And I'm going to click Next to generate styles. And it's generated some here for us and is asking us to pick the style that you like best. So we've got some here where it's picked one colour or 2 colours, like an accent colour, or ones where it uses all of them. So for example, this one here with the colours all chosen and black lines and icons, or the colours here with white lines and icons, or there's some slightly subtler versions here as well. So I'm going to go back up. I quite like the simplicity of this with the colours and the black. So let's use that one. And now it says next you can fine choose your style. And in the fine tune option here it says edit items directly on the right panel to further customize your style. So there's nothing that I can see on here that I'm not currently happy with. It's kind of auto-generated anyway, so I think we're okay for now. I'm going to click I'm done. And now it's saving that theme for us, and at the top here you can see Sarah's brand. And as we discussed before, the built-in styles, we can choose which ones we like and which ones we don't like. So let's deselect a few of them so there's not so many available in the list. I don't really like all these plain ones. I don't like that font. Quite like that one. Let's get rid of that one and get rid of a few more here. Okay, so we have a style that we've created there. And now if we want to put it to the test, so I'm going to paste in an essay that I wrote a while ago. And I'm going to select it all and I'm going to hit the blue generate visuals icon, and it's just taking a moment to ingest that information and to think about it. And if we scroll to the bottom, it should be starting to generate images for us. And you can see here it's definitely looking like it's using our new colorway. And we can decide whether we think it's working or not. So for example, there's clearly elements here that aren't showing up. So we might need to do a little bit of tweaking in terms of the colours. But let's have a look. In the main, it seems to be working well. I think if we pick that one, and I think what it's not doing is, in the settings, there was the option to invert the colours. I think it's not picking up the fact that they should actually be black. Yes, there we go. So you can see that there are some elements that we couldn't actually see until we selected them and made them black. But you can obviously play around with that, but you can tell that straight away it looks different to it did out of the box. So you have now customized your own images and the fonts that you liked, and therefore the output is going to look very different to somebody else who is using the same tool. And that is how easy it is to create your own custom style.